Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We have shown RDL and how it's done. We have a long way from coming, and we've got there pretty quickly. Just watch McConsole, win another competition and run. Yay! Oh, ah! Hey, well guys, welcome back to Oklahoma. Yeah, as you know, last episode we wrapped up the competition. Just had a bit of fun now. I really had hoped to cut up the truck by the time I started that, but hey. So what are we going to do this episode then? I was thinking this episode maybe have a talk about competition, have a look around the fleet, see what we've done. You know, have a discussion around the challenges that we won or did. Quick discussion about FS15, thoughts on it. Ah! Jesus, Snowman, what are you doing? And then maybe have a talk about what way we want to go in the future, maybe, you know, before this. Yeah, I've had these in for a while, guys, and I really, really wanted to use them. Whoa, gee. Hey, if I'd had the back doors open, I could have went in there. Anyway. Yeah, so, yeah, well, let's just get into it then. Let me get this stopped, though. Ah! Right, okay, that really does not want to stop. Ah, well. Okay, guys. Yeah, so, I suppose we really should start. Maybe we should start with a run around the farms and see how we did, what we did, what equipment we had, and oh, so close. Right, time to stop this. Oh, where'd it go? That way. Ah, bees are just to go this way. Yeah, it's crashing anyway. Alright guys, so let's bounce back to the main farm then. So challenges wise then, $100 million, yeah, we've passed that in the last episode, no problem. We had to fill the bunkers. We did it not once but twice, pretty easily. I think there's still some in storage actually. Yeah, there's loads in storage, and you know, there was a bin around here somewhere as well. We had a load in. Didn't really see me using this too much through the competition, but I did use it. Actually, a really, really interesting way of storing things. That. So yeah, let's start off with we'll start off this side of the farm then. Of course, we had our 795 Lexians. Pretty good. 1200 Vario heads, dripper headers. We had 6 of those. Yeah, we had also before these. I think there's only 3 here though, is there? Yeah. No, there's 4 of them here. We have 4 of the John Deere 96RT X965T things. And then we had the air seeder. Is there a model number in this? Maybe not. Oh yeah, the 1910 with the 1690 air seeder. Buff. Of course, we had the 2 case axial flows 9230 with the 13.2 meter dripper headers. We've also got the 9 meter corn cutters over there as well. There's 2 of them. We started with those. We've never done anything with this, guys. Basically because I couldn't find anywhere to sell it, so kind of just ignored it. Yeah. A couple of these International 1586, but these were just torn about the conveyor belts. Of course, we had our 721F case loader. We got that pretty early on, and we're using that to start with in the bunks, but we ended up bringing it over here to use with the compost maker. But we'll see, 3 950s. Of course, we just bought this trailer to deal with compost. I don't think there's any in it, no. Oh, Jeffrey's here for the finale too. Hi Jeffrey. of course, then we put it in. We never really done much with this, actually, did we? I think we filled it up once, and that was enough. This is our refinery. You know, dumped canola. We got was it manure out of it, and we also got biodiesel. Fuel tank for running about. Our International Transstar 2. Apparently, it's not for hire. Okay. And a couple of these Fortuna tankers as well. I think that one was mainly just used for transporting diesel. Yeah. Of course, we had all our Kinsey 1500s. I can't remember how many of these we finished off with. Let's see. Garage. Quick look and see how many of these 1500s we finished with. There you go, there. 17 of them. Okay. These worked really well with courseplay. I have to admit it. They did do a fantastic job. Although, in saying that, it held just over what one of our Wilson trailers held. So we needed, you know, quite big capacity on them. Let's head back over this way then. This shed here then, we had five of these John Deere square balers. We originally used those on field 6 for square bales of the alfalfa, and then we've done some square, straw bales with them. All our lovely Xerions. Two different kinds of Xerions there. Two different mods. That's one mod. That was the other mod. I think I much preferred this one, the lighter colored green to the darker colored green. I don't know. It just seemed better. Of course, all our couple of them Fortuna trailers, we used that when we chopped the field. We had that from the start. That was just basically emptying the fields. And then we have 6 of these Kroon pickup wagons, loading wagons. Meh. Let's quickly just dander over here. This we originally used to transport livestock when we had, beef and chickens and pigs. Quickly got out of them, guys, because I don't think, they took off the focus of the competition. They took a bit of work. I would have liked to have done more with the chickens. No, not chickens. Chickens were worthless. The fattened chickens were worthless. I think they were like $9 or £9, whatever monetary unit you play in, you got on those. But the pigs and the beef, I wouldn't mind having more to do with them. We'll see in future, maybe. I don't know. Of course, down and over here, a couple of them big Fortuna trailers, the Flegel ASS, and then we had this setup here, guys. We have 10 of these, which is basically a Pete, a Wilson, and a Pup. And these were the main bad boys for the selling. These constantly run grain from here to the sell points, or fruit from here to the sell points. And this is what we've done the most of our selling with. Worked pretty well. The one thing I liked about Courseplay on these is Courseplay actually recognised the pup and filled the pup. I have never had that in any subsequent version of this game. It never recognised the trailer behind for me. But it's nice to do that here on 15. We see where else we're running down here. Another one of the internationals with the conveyors just for the sugar beets and the potatoes. And okay, we go over here just to plough with another Xerion. Then we have our Volvo with our horse trailer, and this is where we made a lot of money here, selling horses, guys. This is the only trailer that I know of that transport these horses. Again, you'll see RD Allen using this one as well. And this actually used this in the original series too. So it was the only way we knew how to sell horses. Of course, horses we keep in here. I think we finished off with, let's see, I want to say 250 of them. 213, yeah, but 250. We were keeping it around 250. Easy enough to feed, easy enough to look after. I kind of don't know this for sure, but to me it seems like the more you have, the quicker they convert. 250 was a nice round number. Oh, the old wagon. I don't think we only had one of these. I think nice conveyor belt for the front of the 3-point hitch on it, and you can get it for front loaders and telehandlers as well. I know there's different versions of it for that, but I just took the 3.1. Worked really, really well. Never seen this in subsequent versions of the game either. I like this. Always liked that mod, and for that fact, the other. Oh, here, can't get over that. Quickly run over here. This conveyor belt again, another Maru, however you pronounce that. These never really made it into subsequent versions of the games either, and that's pretty. I wish they had of, because these actually work really, really well. I like the function of them. Of course, go over to our cows. 4 mixing stations get on here. 4 mixing stations, which are still pretty full. Yeah. I think the only really time we were really needed the 4 of these is when we bumped up the number of cows from, I think it was like 200 to 500. Then we needed them, but after that there, I think maybe 1 or 2 of these would have sufficed just to keep the cows filled up. If we look at the cow screen, it's a bit overlapping with the chickens, so ignore that. Chickens there isn't any. So 506 cows. They took over 1 million litres in TMR to actually get them up to the full feeding capacity, and these did keep up with no problem. Water-wise, I think we set this up on stream, or on screen. Just one of these big slurry refill tank things, but used for water, so one of the universal ones. And of course we decorated it with half a cow sticking out of it. And a placeable water trigger. We did put this down, guys, for storing the grass and the straw. While it's functional, it was just too slow, and the conveyor belts were actually quicker, so it ended up this became defunct. It just became a building that sat there. Quite honestly, it does look as if it was part of the map because of the way it fills in with the horse shed and whatnot. Yeah. But I would dare say on another map, if it wasn't using conveyor belts, that would have been quite handy. Of course, a couple of the different universal tanks. You never really seen me use this one. I did transport some slurry up and sold it. But Courseplay couldn't really do the. While it it came down here. I had to fill it myself, and it automatically unloaded to the shell station. But when it arrived back down here, I needed to fill it again, and it was just like, meh, I can't be bothered with this. So the slurry is just sat with nothing to do. This was a mod as well, the manure fill pit. So we just basically moved it out of there, put it into here, and it automatically overfilled. We were using this for the greenhouses and berries when we had them, but they were problematic. No, they weren't problematic. They worked well, but I just had too many fill types on the map, I think. And the berries and that just they lagged the game out. I think in another map that didn't have all the extra fill types and all would have worked perfectly. I've seen them work perfectly, so yeah. We used it, and then we also used this for the compost maker. Don't really use it too much online or on recordings, but it was there. 3 Scanias with the autoload trailers behind it, same setup. These are really good. I love these trailers. And another thing I liked about these as well is with Courseplay, whenever you went to, for example, the Bale sell point, Courseplay automatically unloaded them for me. I have never had that before, and if you can remember back to the episode where we got it to work, I was really excited. I really enjoyed that. I would love to see that come back to future versions of the game, because I think it's a really neat feature that Courseplay should not have lost in the first place, but okay then, if I take ourselves, that's more or less the main farm, I think. Come on, Jeffrey. If we run over here, we go up to the fattening farm, or what I call the fattening farm. We never really done a lot of work up here. Oh, excuse me. Never really done a lot of work up here. Chicken-wise, I discovered pretty earlier on, chickens were not worth the hassle. I mean, in-game chickens, definitely not worth the hassle. Running around picking up these eggs. Bang. I got rid of them pretty quickly. Just didn't think that it was any good. I much prefer the in-game mechanic in 19 for the chickens over this. Where you got the egg boxes, and then you actually made money off the egg boxes and made chickens worth doing. In this version of the game, worthless. Absolute and utter pain in the butt and not worth it at all. Fattened chickens, as I said, you know, you bought them for like $120, you got $129 when you sold it. $9 a time. Unless you were really going to run big at them, it wasn't worth it. And while I would like to try this again in the future with a big time operation, if we ever played 15 again, I don't think that it was worth it. It wasn't worth it for this challenge, guys, because it was too much work for this challenge. And as I said, if we get stuck into this, it was a downward spiral. Shape-wise, apart from them, you know, sometimes floating over at this end of the building for some strange reason, once I fed them and watered them, put a bit of water in every now and again, put a bit of food in every now and again, looked after themselves. Didn't really have to have much to do with them. Pretty good. Of course, we had their originally we had the Bobcat down here, and we swapped that for the Scorpion because the Bobcat was junk, and I deleted it. I think we sold a bit of wool on screen. I really like this idea for the wool as well. I haven't seen this in any subsequent versions of the game either. The pallet collector, where it rolls everything out for you. That would be nice in future versions. Instead of like 6 pallets in a box spawning, I go back to that 1 pallet spawning and having something like this to move it about. You know, because you can fit what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 pallets of wool there, and then the 16th one is the one that's building. Pigs we never really had much to do with. Again, I wouldn't mind looking at them maybe if we do this game in the future. Maybe. Of course we've got, you know, we'll be using that for silage. Use this for transporting the wool. The katanas we had a couple of fine katanas here. I think we had 3 of them or something for chopping. They were throwing errors up in the log whenever I went through trying to look for what was causing my lag, so they get deleted. But they're pretty nice to use. Pretty early on we discovered that these are all linked. So what I did was I set up these conveyor belts onto this. This worked really well, guys. I mean, all I had to do was go into them, go over, press the B button. Oh, hold on. I'll get closer. Press the B button. Turns it on. You can see the green light. And then you just drove underneath and it just started filling. This was really handy for filling in, you know, this TMR mixer. Only use this really to pull truckfuls out and send them over to the horses. We used this for a while over on this farm, the Class Cargos 9600. Yeah, it was alright. The Crones just were better. I think they held more. Another silage truck. And then we come into our, I suppose it's our grass really. There's the other 2 960 Axions. 3 round balers, the McConsole, which we used on field 6. And then on 17 and 18 when we started doing that. We kept a couple of these for baling work. I think we had originally 10 of these out on the field or something, didn't we? Worked really well. Once we got the mod to auto-unload the wrap bales, worked perfectly. Just had to adjust the speed. Our big M500 worked perfectly in this version of the game, guys. Spreading and rowing on courseplay. I think I already almost having problems with that. I couldn't get it to widespread or couldn't get it to row or something. Oh well. It worked for us. You never really see me using this, guys. I basically use this for cleaning up the edges of field 17 and 18 and throwing the bales back on the field so the auto-load wouldn't miss them. And then we have these. I think we had 10 of these. Definitely had 10 of these in the go at one stage. The only reason with 3 left is because I accidentally bought 3 instead of hired 3. What are they? The W260s, and the headers are the 995s, and I'm stuck. But that's that farm really. Oh, let me get back up here. Of course, we had a couple of them DB90s as well. I forgot about that. Let's quickly run back over here. No, this way. Of course, when we did do this, when I had the berries and stuff up and going, obviously we had the wood mills up and going. We had some honey up and going at one stage as well, but because of the lag problem and the fill problem, I got rid of them. Never really cleaned this up too much though. But we had our wood auto chiller. That was really nice. I had a version of this in 17, but I couldn't find one for 19. Here's another class Scorpion. A couple more water tanks, and I think that's just a pile of wood chips. Where are we going? This way. Another thing we did have at one stage, and I had some fermenting silos I was going to use on here, because this is a fermenting silo. It's very slow, didn't hold very much, but it conflicted with the other fermenting silos, so we ended up just going and using pits. That was very, very slow. While it was great to have it, if I needed silos quick, it was just very, very slow. So yeah, that's that all done. Let me see. Where next? Let me just get back to the map. Bounce down here. We never really done too much work down here, guys. I kind of really got this too late in the game to get this up and going and make any sort of use of it. But that's our original setup. We had that when we started. You know, the man truck with the crampy trailer. We did put a couple of these potato washers down. I've always wanted to play with these, but never really found the time on the streams or whatever to really get into it in this challenge, which is a pity, like, because they do work really well, and I like the fact they give you boxes and stuff. Just another Scania with an autoload. There is some more equipment around here. Of course, we had our two JCBs with our chaser bins for root crops. Worked for sugar beets, not so well for potatoes. A couple more Scanias with water tanks and fuel tanks and whatever else, and then our two root crop harvesters, the Maxtron and the Tektron, both the Grimmies. They're in game, but have been slightly modded to be wider. Right, where else have we got down here? I think that was everything down here, was it? I believe that was everything down this end of the field. So back to here. Okay. Yeah, guys. We had 30 S690Is with corn headers. You know, that's over 15, 16, about 20 million's worth of stuff sitting over here. We used this quite extensively, and a couple of times we did field 13. Most of the time it worked pretty well. I will say it worked pretty well. You know, it did have some problems, but you know, you kind of expect that when you have that much equipment on a field. You know, 30 of these with all the chaser bins and whatever else, you know. But yeah, 30 on course play. Let's take a run this direction then. And this takes us back towards the farm 2, is it? Northwest farm. And get some water. All this talking makes you thirsty. So yeah, over here to our northwest farm then. Oh, maps, eh? You have to take you forever to get everywhere. Let's see, bounce that up to 6. Really, really good field that. I like that. I did enjoy doing the harvests in that field. Okay then, guys, there is this farm. So that's the rest of our Kinseys. I like this idea with the separate silos for the crops. And again, you know, you had to use these fill pipes to get stuff out of them, but they were still connected to the main one at the yard. Yeah. So, you know, all the additional crops had their own silos up here, and then obviously you had your in-game crops there. We had our 10 Pete's with the 10 Wilsons, or no, was it 8, 9? I can't remember how many there is here now. We just used these mostly for field work, and then whenever we were doing big sell, they get drafted in to help out there. Again, with the mod-wise, it did have problems with steering. You couldn't turn when you braked, but when you get used to it, they were pretty easy to use. Quite like them, actually. There's the rest of our DB90s. They seem to like moving around by themselves, by the way, guys. They were all parked neatly in there. A couple then of the sprayers we used, the 4940s. They were pretty decent. The other thing I liked about them, actually, and I haven't seen, is that when they're folded, it's two-wheel steer, but when they're unfolded, it turns into four-wheel steer. I thought that was pretty neat. Then, of course, guys, we have the bigger machines. It did run this as a John Deere farm, I suppose, didn't we? So we had all our 9560 RXT 9359753 things. We had loads of them in and about here. I think we had, what, was it 9 of them or 10 of them? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 12. We had 12 of them, and they were basically running grain carts most of the time, or the DB90s up here. And then we had all of our GMCs. We had 15 of those. So they took over from the grain carts mostly for the end when I found them, because they were just simpler. Run off the field. And I think that's... Oh, let's not forget our MB track. We have had this from the start, guys. Only really put 24 hours on it, but we had it from the start. I like it. I do like the tractors in this. Let's see, dirty wise, you're probably one of the dirtier ones. 12 hours in that. Mod wise, we found out. Let's take a discussion about mods now for 15. Most of them worked pretty well. A few of them did conflict, or a few of them had errors. Maybe just bad mods. The katanas worked really well, just had a few errors. I don't think it caused any problems in game, but I got rid of them just in case. Because I didn't really want to have too much hassle on it. But mod wise, everything, most of the stuff we had here worked really, really well. Script wise, all the extensions. Courseplay, I fell in love with again, guys. Courseplay on 15 was brilliant. Okay, you don't have your convoy function of it. You don't have your multiple tools function. You had to do the math. That was easy when you get used to doing it. Very easy. Follow Me worked really well. I never really used Follow Me to its full capacity, though. I only really used Follow Me to take stuff from A to B. Well, you could have a mower out with a baler, or take it to its full functionality. You could have had the mowers out with a tedder behind it, windrow behind that, baler behind that. You could have had a robber behind that as well. I suppose you could also pick them up behind that as well, but you'd have to stop and take the pickup wagon back all the time. You need to set them up. Oh yeah, we had our Transtar pickup wagon as well. We call it dump truck, whatever you want to call that. What I think about the map, I played this in 17, guys, and I liked it in 17. It had a lot more to do in 17. It had a lot of productions and whatnot. But coming back to the 15 version of the map, it was brilliant. I have to say, it was amazing. 15 itself, okay, I'll agree with RDL. The menu is annoying. The wrong one altogether. The menu is annoying. Instead of tabs on the top, you scroll back and forward. You're trying to find the stuff half the time. That was annoying. But you get used to it. The economy, I like it. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I know a lot of people hated the economy in 15. But compared to 17 and 19, I have an hour to sell stuff at the high price. And then after that hour, the price changes. What we shifted, I think the most we shifted was 6 million or 4 million, 5 million in an hour liters of product. You couldn't do that in 17 or 19. Once you sell your first, you know, I think a couple of thousand loads, 100,000 litres or whatever it was. Price dropped, and then it wasn't worth selling anymore. You just stopped. At least here you had an hour. The only thing I didn't like about the economy here was the way the price tanked. It went nuts. I mean, we sold corn. It went from, was it 12 or 1300,000 a litre to 2,200 a litre after the hour. And to be honest with you, the price of corn still has not recovered. Yeah. And it's been a long time since we sold corn. Still got 5 million litres of corn in there to sell to. Other functions in 15. You couldn't tip to the ground, which is fine. We did find the function here that lets me tip to the ground, but that was a mod. You put this in the ground, and basically it had a fill level on the mod. It was like putting stuff into storage, but instead of having a shed, you were just supposedly tipping to the ground. That helped, though it didn't have compost. Yeah. But that's the thing. That was the only thing I missed. Silaging was a lot easier because basically you just drew stuff, dumped it. There was no but I suppose you compacted it. But Courseplay did that just driving over it. But you didn't have to do any leveling or anything. I suppose I like the later versions of the game, but this just worked easy. This was easy. Course's Fist worked as well. Dumping, compact. You just compacted by driving over it. Leveled it out, and then it fermented, and then you just took it away. The Courseplay for unloading worked really, really well. I wouldn't mind trying this with a BGA, actually. As I say, I never played this version of the game on computer before. It was only ever on Xbox, so I never had Courseplay. And I think that's one of the things that made me think, enjoy it more than I did maybe on the Xbox, is because I could do a lot more in a lot quicker time. Yeah. I don't know, guys. What were your thoughts on the series? Did you enjoy? Getting back to 15, it was what, 4-year-old game, but I quite enjoyed it. Talking about the future, then, I know Geyer had suggested maybe staying on 15 and doing the Gift of the Caucasus map. I'd be interested in doing that because I only ever watched. Again, in Geyer referenced Scuderia doing the map. I only ever watched it. I never played it, and it looked quite interesting. Different menu style and stuff, and really changed the game up for 15, I think. I know that Jeffrey and that wanted to maybe do Pleasant Valley Rivers. That's a big possibility. We can still do that. And it used the same actually menus as Gift of the Caucasus. So yeah, we'll see what we'll do. We'll have to have a discussion with the guys, see whether they want to do it single player one or multiplayer. Multiplayer, I think if we'd done PV Rivers, it would take us right up until the new game, though. Alternatively, I do want to do a wrap-up video on Shellington. It's been that long since we've been on it. I don't think I could go back and play it again. I really, really enjoyed the map, but it's just been that long, guys. And there is another map I want to have a go at, and that would be Spectacle Island. I love that map. I mean, I remember asking Jim on Facebook a while back, and was he converting? He said no, and then obviously in the middle of playing this, it came out, and I was just like, I want to play it. So that's another option. If we don't do PV Rivers, what do you want to see, guys? Do you want me to go and do another 15 on the Gift of the Caucasus map? Which is really changes the gameplay for 15 menus and all that there. Or should we go and do Spectacle Island? I'll leave it up to you. Just let me know. Comments down below. I'll not be doing anything till after the weekend, guys, because I'm going to take a couple of days off, because I have been constantly at this map for coming up 2 months now. Let's have a quick look at the stats, actually, and see what you've done. Stats wise, no, this way, yeah, stats is next one. So we done 234 hours in this game. That is, I believe, at the last time I checked on RD Allen's stats, it was about 100 hours less than him. Hey, see, we done it quicker. 5,700 bales in the whole time we're on here. We used some amount of everything then. I'll let you read them figures yourself, guys. We had quite a lot. I mean, quite a lot. Fuel usage, I mean, 85,817 litres. That's a lot of fuel. Uh, wow. We didn't do any missions, because missions on here were really stupid. So yeah, we didn't do any of them. Again, guys, let me know what you think. If you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. Always means a lot. Thank you to everyone new that coming along and subscribing, by the way, and all the guys that are still there. Thanks for sticking around with me. As I say, I only make the videos. You guys build the channel. Oh, we didn't look in here, did we? We forgot about that. Yay! We haven't used that in a long time since we got the seeders that fertilized. Yeah. So let me know what you think, guys. Should we do Gifts of the Caucasus, or should we do Spectacle Island? Again, if the guys don't get back to me about PV Rivers, that'll be our two options. If the guys get back, we maybe get a server out for a couple of months and bang at PV Rivers, because I mean, Dajnet was good enough to send me the link to the map and mods that you need. So yeah, guys, let me know, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.